Blake Snell is so back. He has never been more back. We'll talk about it next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome to FBT in 5. I'm Chris Towers. I'm here with Scott White and Blake Snell. What happened? You were the worst pitcher in baseball through the All-Star break. Everybody gave up on you, but you never gave up on yourself, and you threw a no-hitter over the weekend. 11 strikeouts, 3 walks, 0 hits. The first time Blake Snell has even thrown a major league pitch in the 9th inning of a competitive game. Yeah. What's going on? Is he back to being an ace, Scott?
I mean, that's kind of what we said after his last start, right? When he got 15 strikeouts and follows that up with a no hit. I mean, what a 2-start sequence there. That's one of the best 2-start stretches for any pitcher ever, I dare say. And this is now like 5 starts in a row that he's been good. And okay, it'd be easy to say, yeah, but look at the bad starts for Blake Snell. And so is he going to come crashing back to earth? Except that this is now year 4 of him turning on a dime mid-season, going from being unusable to the most dominant pitcher in baseball, or among them anyway, at some point in the summer. And all the other times, it just lasted the rest of the season. So I'm reluctant to bet against Snell, and you know, if he's as good as he's been in the past, that's going to be like an ace the rest of the season. So that's where I rank him going forward.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move him up because I think I moved him inside my top 30 in my most recent update. But you and Frank were way more aggressive, and clearly you're looking right after this one. The Houston Astros are looking pretty smart for their Yusei Kikuchi trade. And sometimes we get guys traded to very smart teams and they don't have to make any changes at all. Like Jack Flaherty with the Dodgers. He just looked like Jack Flaherty in his debut. Yusei Kikuchi, 11 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, completely changed the approach with the secondaries, ditched his curveball, threw 2 of them in this start, threw his changeup way more, and that's been a way better pitch for him this season. How much are you buying into Yusei Kikuchi's sudden breakout with the Astros?
Well, I'm buying into it pretty hard because it's not just something that happened to happen. Him throwing the changeup more and it having so much success and getting this 11 strikeout, 26 whiff effort. Here's what manager Joe Espada had to say about it after the fact. The changeup, I thought, was the game changer for me. That's kind of what we wanted him to do, was throw the changeup more in zone. It's a really, really good pitch and just makes his fastball a much better pitch. So it's not just us observing it. It's this happened by design. And if that's the case, then I don't know why it wouldn't continue to happen by design. So very encouraged. Be picking up Kikuchi anywhere he's available.
Who would you rather have rest of season? Yusei Kikuchi or Spencer Schwellenbach, who struck out 10, walked 0 over 7 innings against the Marlins, did give up 3 earned runs on 2 home runs. Over his last 3 starts, 29 strikeouts, 0 walks. That is something that no Atlanta Braves pitcher has ever done over a 3-start stretch. They've had some pretty good ones. Who would you rather have, Schwellenbach or Yusei Kikuchi?
I think I'm going to take Schwellenbach, as encouraged as I am by Kikuchi. And this is back-to-back double-digit strikeout efforts, and really his whole a stretch now, a whole stretch here where Schwellenbach has begun to live up to his potential. 5 starts, a 2.45 ERA, 0.79 whip because he's walking no one. Like in those 5 starts, he's literally walked 1. 10.4 K per 9, 6 pitches. He mixes up the usage, and he has success no matter how he mixes it up. George Kirby level control here for Spencer Schwellenbach. I think the arrow is pointing straight up. You know, he did give up a couple homers, 3 runs to the Marlins lineup. So, you know, maybe there's still room for improvement, but the upside to me seems so high. There's no way you can leave Schwellenbach out there.
Yeah, he's, as we're speaking Sunday night, he's about 80% rostered. I would imagine that's close to 100% on Monday morning, as well it should be. We'll talk a few news items. You mentioned a quote from Joe Espada that was very positive about Yusei Kikuchi. I've got one that's less positive about Kyle Tucker. When asked if he thinks Kyle Tucker will be back before September, Astros manager Joe Espada said this, quote, "It would be too aggressive for me to say we'll have him by the end of the month," end quote. Remember, this was an injury that was initially viewed as day-to-day in early June, about 60 days ago. I don't know. I hope we see Kyle Tucker again. I hope he's as good as he was again, but it's been a long and arduous recovery from this, and it doesn't seem like there's an end in sight. Doesn't seem like we're going to see Max Scherzer on a mound, at least for the next couple of weeks. He was added to the IL over the weekend, retroactive July 31st, with shoulder fatigue. This has been an ongoing issue for the veteran all season. He's had forearm fatigue at various points. I think the likeliest explanation is that he's just old and his body can't recover the way it used to, unfortunately. There might still be stretches where Max Scherzer is very useful for fantasy, but I think at this point, anything you get from him the rest of the way is a bonus. And I think you can go ahead and just drop Drew Thorpe. Was placed on the IL Friday with a flexor tendon strain. It's not clear how long he'll be gone at this point, but I don't think there's enough upside and frankly not a high enough floor for Drew Thorpe to be worth stashing if you need the IL spot. So go ahead and get rid of him, and hopefully we see Max Scherzer at some point soon, but I'm not expecting much. And that's going to do it for FBT in 5. We'll see you tomorrow.